जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयातितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मप्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका भूतैर्महद्भिर्यैमा पुरो विभुर्निर्मायशेते यदा मूषु पुरुषा भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकः सोऽलं कृषिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे हरे रामेति कृष्णेति नाम संकीर्तनं सदा लोकक्षेमाय कुर्वन्तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सुखाय कर्माणि करोति लोको न ते सुखं वान्यदुपारमं वा विन्देत भूयस्तत एव दुःखं यदत्र युक्तं भगवान् वदेन्नः सुखाय कर्माणि karoti logo. This is a wonderful question that Vidura asked Maitreya Rishi once. In this world, everyone is in search of happiness. From a small ant to an elephant, from an ignorant plant to an intelligent human. But the happiness we experience here is never lasting. It always has an end, and with that end comes sadness. Everyone tries to acquire joy, but no one strives for sorrow. The process of gaining joy itself is hard. It demands effort, mindset, and investment. And yet, when we finally attain it, it does not stay for long. After the excitement fades, we feel empty. Even while enjoying, there is a hidden fear, the quiet awareness that this too will end. In this vast ocean of material existence, happiness and sorrow rise and fall like endless adjacent waves. If we observe carefully, the so-called happiness we experience is nothing but a brief pause, a temporary absence between two moments of sorrow. So it is very evident that the happiness we find here is not the real thing. The people of the world act for happiness, yet by those very acts, they neither find joy nor liberation from sorrow. Instead, they reap more suffering from the same source. Anything that has a beginning must have an end. Anything that has an opposite cannot be absolute. Happiness and sorrow, honor and dishonor, heat and cold. These are called as dvandvas. Sukham, dukkham, manam, apamanam, sheetam, ushnam. These are all dvandvas, dualities. Everything has something positive and something negative, opposites. So then, why do we keep chasing them in search of joy? It is because we have come from the bliss itself. It's our origin, Ananda. That bliss, our very own Swarupa, has no opposites. It has no duality. It is one of a kind and it is our true nature. Because of that eternal connection, we are ever seeking to return to that state of perfect happiness. But while living in this material world, we often lose our way. We mistake temporary pleasures for lasting joy and waste our precious time. After countless births and endless journeys, when a person finally accumulates enough punya, enough merit, they receive this golden chance. The chance to know that source of eternal bliss, the supreme reality, Bhagavān Himself. But how can one know that Supreme Lord, the source of all bliss, the cause of all causes? The answer is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is not merely a scripture. It is the voice of the absolute, eternal, unbroken, and ever revealing. It stands as the final expression of Vedic wisdom, where philosophy becomes poetry and devotion becomes realization. The word Bhagavatam arises from Bhagavān. Who is Bhagavān? Aishwaryasya samagrasya Vīryasya yashasasriyaha Jñāna Vairāgyayoscaiva Shannam bhagayiti rana Aishwaryasya samagrasya Vīryasya yashasasriyaha. The Supreme Being who possesses in full the 6 divine perfections: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. That person, that Supreme Being is known as Bhagavān. Bhagavatam thus means that which pertains to Bhagavān, or that which reveals the glories of the Lord. Here, in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Bhagavān himself reveals himself through Katha. The Bhagavatam is the Lord himself expressed as a story, a song, as his presence. Śrīmad Bhāgavatakhyoyam Pratyaksha Krishna eva hi Svikritosi maya natha Muktyartham bhavasagare. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Bhagavān himself, Pratyaksha Krishna eva hi. Sri Krishna himself took an avatar in the form of a book. He came to save us all, to help us all from this ocean of materialistic existence. To give us salvation, he came in the form of a book, and that book is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam embodies the perfect union of Bhakti, Jnānam, and Vairāgya. Bhakti means devotion, Jnānam means absolute wisdom, and Vairāgya means detachment. It rejects all superficial religiosity and unveils the essence of divine love. Its opening declaration is Dharma prochita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon moolanam. It proclaims that all pretentious religion is cast aside, only pure, selfless devotion remains. Through the lives of saints and devotees, Prahladan, Dhruva, Ambarisha, and through the enchanting leelas of Krishna, the Bhagavatam shows the true realization. This realization is not achieved by austerity alone, but by love that dissolves ego. The word Shastra means that which instructs, disciplines, or teaches. According to Sanatana Dharma, Shastram is the collective body of sacred knowledge consisting of Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, Smritis, Acharya Vachanam. Vedam itself is with Vedangas, Upanishads, etc. So, Vedangas and Upanishads are integral parts of Vedas themselves. So, all these together constitute Shastram. So, if we see Bhagavatam is actually a Shastra. How can it become a Shastra? It's just a Purana. Many people say that it's just a Purana. It's just one Purana among the 18 Puranas. No, Srimad Bhagavatam is a Shastra. Why? Because it is Vedasaram. Nigama kalpatarorgalitam bhalam. Vedasaram. It is the primordial Purana. Puraneshu cha sarveshu Śrīmad Bhāgavatam param yatra pratipado Krishno giyate bahudarshibhihi rajande tavadanyani puranani satam gane yavat Bhāgavatam naiva shruyate amritasagaram. Other Puranas reign among the noble only until Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the boundless ocean of nectar, is heard. The moment its divine words resound, every other scripture bows in reverence and falls silent. This verse beautifully captures how Śrīmad Bhāgavatam stands supreme, not by rejecting the others, but by fulfilling their very purpose. Among the 18 Puranas, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam shines supreme. While others instruct, this one transforms. It is called the Mahapurana. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is essence of Vedas. Nigama kalpatarorgalitam bhalam shukamukhadamritadravasam yutam pibata Bhāgavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. The Vedas are like a wish-fulfilling tree, kalpataru, and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is its perfectly ripened fruit, made even more nectarine by the beaks of Shuka, the divine parrot sage. O lovers of rasa, O wise souls of this world, drink deeply of this nectar of immortality, again and again, without end. This verse reveals why Bhagavatam is nectarine. It is not just the essence of all scriptures, but the final sweetest fruit of Vedic tree, ripened and made even sweeter by the realization and compassion of Shuka Brahmarshi. And here comes the Acharya Vachana. Just like Manusmriti or any kind of Smriti, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also talks about Samanya Dharma. It talks about the most sacred Dharma, Bhagavata Dharma, which is universal, anybody can follow. So, from this we can understand Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is a Shastra. After compiling the 4 Vedas, the Mahabharata and countless Puranas, Vyasa felt an inner void. So Narada Maharshi revealed the cause. He said he had described everything except the pure glories of Bhagavān, Lord. When Vyasa composed Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, that emptiness vanished. Hence, it is called as Vedasaram, the distilled essence of all spiritual knowledge. Idam Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Adhitavan Dvaparadau Piturdvaipayanadaham. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is not fiction. It is sacred history that preserves the living memory of creation, the appearance of avatars, and the journey of soul. It was composed around 5,000 years ago at the dawn of Kali Yuga, immediately after the departure of Bhagavān Krishna. At that time, Vyasa, he perceived that the power of human memory and virtue would steadily decline in the age of Kali. To safeguard the humanity from moral decay and spiritual confusion, and to ensure that the divine pastimes of Bhagavān were not lost to time, he recorded them in the form of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Thus it stands as both a scripture and a lifeline, a luminous record meant to secure the spiritual well-being of the people in the age of darkness. It is not merely the story of God descending upon earth, but the story of truth preserved for an age. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, its cosmology, its psychology and vision of consciousness reveal a depth that modern science only begins to glimpse. It speaks of creation through vibration of innumerable universes, of time as cyclical, and of life as divine evolution. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam does not deny science, it completes it. It begins where the empirical knowledge ends and the frontier of awe. Praha Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagavat Proktam Brahmakalpa Upagate. From Brahma to Narada, from Shuka Brahmarshi to Parikshit, from Sanaka sages to the modern Acharyas, every realized being has revered this Purana. Sridhara Swami, Madhvacharya, Vallabhacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all Mahans have all affirmed its supremacy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called it Amala Purana, the spotless scripture, because it mirrors the divine without distortion. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is ultimate solution for all sufferings. The Bhagavatam is the medicine for worldly disease. Ekam Bhagavatam Shastram Mukti Danena Garjati. It's only Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that roars about salvation. Its hearing purifies the mind and restores the heart to its natural state of devotion. Devotion cleanses the mind. Clean mind gains wisdom and detachment, and thus leading us to salvation. In the confusion of Kali Yuga, this scripture stands as the only safe refuge. It declares, Kalir dosha nidhe rajan asti hyeko mahan gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sanga param vrajet. Kalir dosha nidhe rajan. Though Kali is an ocean of faults, there is one great virtue. Simply by hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna, one becomes liberated. So, Kali Yuga is the most auspicious yugas, and what is Kali Dharma? It is Śrīmad Bhāgavata Dharma. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, as a Shastram, it projects the importance of Nama Sankirtana. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sanga Param Vrajed. It's only by Nama Sankirtanam one can reach Bhagavān. Kshetranam chaiva sarvesham yadha kashi hyanuttama tadha purana vratanam Śrīmad Bhāgavatam dvijaha. As Kashi shines as the crown of all sacred lands, so does Śrīmad Bhāgavatam reign supreme among the countless Puranas, the holiest among the holy, the purest among the pure. So Kashi is very famous because if someone dies at Kashi, they gain salvation, because Lord Paramashiva himself comes and he gives Ram Nam in the ear of the dying person. So the dying person, when he listens to Ramanamam from Parameshwara himself, Paramaguru Parameshwara himself, then that person gains salvation. So anything that dies at Kashi gains instant salvation. Just like that, anybody who reads Śrīmad Bhāgavatam gets liberation. Its promise is not temporary peace but eternal freedom. A single verse heard with faith burns the seeds of bondage. It does not merely instruct about liberation, it bestows it. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is nectarine. Ikshunamadi madhyandam Sharkara vyapya tishtati pridhak bhuta cha samishta tadha bhagavati kadha ikshonamadi madhyandam. Ikshonamadi madhyandam. Ikshu means sugarcane. So, if we observe sugarcane, wherever we bite, from the head to toe, in every part and parcel of this sugarcane, there is sweetness alone. Na? Just like that, every verse, every letter, every line in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is nectarine. It's sweetest because it's Krishna Swarupa itself. Na? Bhagavān Krishna himself. Śrīmad Bhāgavata Gyoyam Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi. It speaks Krishna Katha, stories that melt the heart. That's why it's sweet. It transforms sorrow into devotion. It nourishes both heart and intellect. It renews itself every time it is heard. Nityam navam navam, swadu swadu pade pade. It is compassion in literary form. Its essence is Nama Sankirtanam. It is the final word of Vedas. So because of all these reasons, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is nectarine. Pibada Bhāgavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasikaha bhuvi bhavukaha. O fortunate ones, please come and drink the nectar of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad Bhāgavati Varta Suranamapi Durlabha. Śrīmad Bhāgavati Varta Suranamapi Durlabha. In this world, even the nectar churned by the Devas is nothing before the nectar of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Shuka Brahmarshi himself smiled at their ignorance. How could they compare mortal Amrita with the immortal essence of Lord's glories? The nectar can grant a few extra years of life, but Śrīmad Bhāgavatam grants Amritatvam, immortality itself. It does not merely sustain the body, it awakens the soul. Even the Devas with all their powers could not obtain this Kathamrita without devotion. To be able to hear or speak Bhagavatam is not an accident actually. It is the fruit of countless good deeds over many births. Janmandare bhavet punyam tata bhagavatam labhet. It is said, only those handpicked by Sri Krishna himself are blessed with this fortune. That is why Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the most precious jewel in all existence. To approach Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, scholarship is not essential. Sincerity is. It opens itself not to intellect alone, but to purity of intent. The human birth is the rarest opportunity, granted by countless lifetimes. The scriptures declare, Labdhva jano durlabhamatra manusham kadha kadhanjidavyangama nakha padaravindam na bhajatya sanmati Grihanthakupe patito yatha pashuho. Labdhva jano durlabhamatra manusham. Durlabham manusham janma. Human life is very rare. Though fleeting, this form alone grants the ability to seek truth and experience the divine. To waste it in ignorance is loss. To dedicate it to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is fulfillment. So in conclusion, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Lord Himself in literary form. It is not merely to be read, it is to be lived, it is to be heard, it is to be absorbed. It does not demand belief, it awakens awareness. It does not preach, it purifies. To dwell in its message is to stand before Krishna in the silence of realization. So, as Bhakta Kavi Poondanam once said, Kalaminnu Kali Yugam Allayo Bharatam Nipradeshavum Allayo Nammalellam Naranmarum Allayo It is very clear that we are currently in Kali Yuga. It is also very clear that we are in Bharata Desham, India. It is also very clear that we all are human beings. So, let us all do what needs to be done. Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare Achyudananda Govinda Madhava Sachidananda Narayana Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Gopika Jivana Smaranam Govinda Govinda